Hey teachers and staff, this video is for you. Today we're going to talk about lockdown.
Lockdowns? Oh, lockdowns?
Lockdowns, not lockouts, but lockdowns. Alright, so the first thing we discuss is every door, or next to the door, should have this form. If you look closely, you'll see lockdown. Lockdown says locks, lights, out of sight. Let's talk about the most confusing thing that is the most important thing, and it's out of sight. So here's a way to know if you're clearly out of sight. Lockdown. So I want to show you using a fancy laser pointer on how far out of sight it really is. So here what we have is what we call a corner fed room. Corner fed means the door is closest to the wall and it goes straight here. It's not in the middle of the room like some are. And we'll actually go to a center door room and show you an example. All right, so if you noticed that the corner fed door, the longer way gives you more room to hide. So what I did, and you can do this in your room, and I recommend it because everyone has a little fancy, possibly a clicker. If not, your neighbor may have one. But what I did is I went as far as I could inside the window. Now I took the covering off, but I went as far inside the window as I could. So let me show you how much room you actually have. Lockdown. All right, so here's what we call a center fed room door. So here's the door here, and all the way over here is one wall, and all the way over here is the other wall. So it's almost right in the middle of the room. So we may have to learn to disperse our kids instead of crowd them in one door. And I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Lockdown. Okay, so I've already done the sticky note, and I'm going to show you where it's at if you didn't see it in the video. So I'm going to walk over to it right now so you can see how much room that we actually have or don't have. Okay, so now here is the opposite side from the room. You can probably already see the sticky note right here over my left. Here it is right here. You notice I only have this much room to here. Okay, not as much to the other side. Okay, only have just a few feet before I can be spotted inside that window. Okay, so there you have it. There's our corner fed rooms, our center fed rooms, and those are pretty typical inside of our school here at Monty. But now let me show you some do's and or some don'ts that you need to think about. Covering here, okay, coverings are good, but they're not bulletproof, okay? That's why it's important to know how far you can hide your kiddos from danger if someone decides just to randomly shoot inside that window, okay? The second thing to think about is if you can, have you turn off the lights and lock the door. Do not send a student outside these doors during a lockdown, because the first thing they want to do is see where the squirrel is. And that's a bad thing, especially the rooms that are close to the outer doors, because they're most prone to being the closest with the danger zone, if you want to call it danger zone. So those are some things to think about. The other thing is, during the lockdown, which we saw last time, tell your students to get up, if they can remember, push in their chair, and then have them hide, okay? Chairs being pulled out is a good sign that the students are hiding. If for some reason you don't have a window covering, okay? When chairs are pulled out, for me and anyone else that's, or someone that's trying to hurt you, they're looking for signs quick to see if there's students in there hiding, okay? And these are a good clue when the chairs are all pushed out and scattered. So you can practice with your kiddos.
Practice with your kiddos. Practice with your kiddos.
With your kiddos. Okay, a couple things to think about. If it's a drill, it's a scheduled drill, you know what to drill, then when it's over, you'll hear an announcement, and then they'll tell you, we're done with our lockdown drill. If you hear over the PA system that it's a lockdown, and you're not sure if they mean it's a drill or real, it's best to play as if it's real, okay? So if it's real, here's a few things that I want you to remember. And we may even test you this during a drill, okay? But a true lockdown, if someone comes by and knocks on your door, I don't care how much they're banging on the door, how hard they're hitting the door, do not open that door, okay? It's a test. It could be a situation where you have a student that's being held hostage and they're hoping that somebody opens the door so they have entry into that door to take out all those students. If we're done with the lockdown, this is what'll happen. I'll come around, or the administrator will come around, and we have a key, okay? I'll come around, or the admin will come around, unlock the door, and they'll tell you, hey, lockdown is good, we're good to go, okay? So wait for that time for it to be unlocked by an admin or myself, okay? If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I'll be glad to ask or answer your questions. Thank you for your time.